All right, so I've been seeing a little trend going on social media about things that we're not taking into 2024, things that we're stopping in 2024, and I wanted to do my own video with a little spin. So yeah, here we are.
You in the past, I'm in the future. You mad that they don't salute you. I need a bag.
Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you're new here, my name is Keela Trishan, and I make videos on lifestyle, insurance, and mental health. I also do vlogs, day in the life in the insurance industry, day in the life with a toddler, all the things. So if that's something that interests you, go on ahead and click that subscribe button below. Be sure to turn on your notifications so you don't miss anything from me. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back, and thank you for your support. Okay, so as I said, I've been seeing this little trend going on social media, and I wanted to talk about professional things that we do not need to be doing in 2024. A lot of these things I no longer do, but there are some times where I feel myself, falling back into like old patterns and stuff like that. So this year in particular, I am trying to check myself on things that I don't need to be doing in my professional life, things that I need to keep up with in my professional life. And I get the feeling that some of y'all might need to hear this too. So if you're interested, definitely go on ahead and stay tuned. All right, number one, stop not taking all of your time off. I'm talking about your sick time. I'm talking about your PTO, your vacation, whatever your company calls it. You need to start taking those days. Now, for me specifically, I had a big issue with taking vacation, specifically working in the insurance industry. Quick disclaimer, if you're new here, I work in the insurance industry as a field adjuster in the homeowners department of a major insurance company. And I have claims, okay? And claims can be out of control. And for a lot of adjusters, it's really hard to take time off because you are essentially leaving your work either for someone else that may or may not be able to get to it, or, just for it to pile up, however your company does it. The way my company does it, we have somebody that will back us up, but usually that person is only working on files where someone calls in. They're just kind of appeasing them until you get back. So one of the issues as an adjuster is you get excited when it's time to take time off, but then you're rushing trying to get things done in anticipation of being off. And then when you get back, you have a desktop full of emails and activities that were missed and things like that. So you're playing catch up for a couple of days, trying to get back on track while also getting new claims. Now, because of this, I have fallen into the trap of not taking all of my days off, and not because I don't want to take the days off, but in my mind, I'm like, I don't want to come back to a mountain of work. So I might just take a day off here, a day off there. But we're not doing that in 2024 and beyond. Getting vacation or having vacation and, sick time, this is a part of your total compensation. And why are we letting the companies reap the benefits of our stressed out asses? Like, let's not do that. Let's make sure that moving forward, we're using all of this time. What I'm doing specifically is I'm looking for ways to take 3 and 4 day weekends, every month. Right now, as I'm filming this video, it's February. So we don't have any holidays that are coming up that I'm going to automatically get off. The next holiday we have is in May, okay? And I'll be damned if I'm going to wait until May to take some time off. So do things like, take a Friday off, leave early, take a Monday off, leave early, whatever you need to do. You might just want to take off a day to go to the spa in the middle of the week, whatever, but you need to think about self-preservation, and let's not leave money on the table. In some cases, like if you leave the company, your company will pay you those vacation days. Most companies will pay your vacation days, but you lose your sick time. If you're not feeling well, or, if you have an appointment that you need to make, like a medical appointment or something like that, you can use your sick time. Like, make sure that we are using these resources that the company gives to us in the beginning of our employment. So stop leaving it on the table. Stop carrying over multiple days of vacation and being stressed out and burned out. Like, taking a day or two off, here and there can really do wonders for your mental health. I've been doing it the last couple of years, and it really, really makes me feel good. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm still not excited to come back to work, but I do get excited knowing that I'm going to have some days off, to not have to answer to anybody, and to be able to plan my day the way I want to plan it and not the way I have to plan it for work. So stop leaving those vacation days and FTO and PTO and all that. Stop leaving it on the table. The second thing that you should stop doing in 2024 and beyond is stop letting people talk to you any kind of way. And when I say people, I'm talking about people that you work with, higher ups, customers, all of that. there is a way to demand respect and make sure that people come at you correct without you having to fly off the handle, without you having to use profanity, without you having to get crazy. There are ways to do that. What I've noticed is that sometimes, especially like in new relationships, working relationships, and sometimes with customers, people will come at you a certain way, almost in a way of like testing you to see how far they can go. And the best experience I've had is nipping it in the bud right away. Because once somebody talks to you crazy or they disrespect you or something like that, and you let it slide, then, you know, in future interactions, they'll either push harder or they'll just continue the disrespect. So then you end up feeling away and you either will blow up or you'll be super stressed out and it'll create anxiety whenever you have interactions with these people. So for me, if a higher up is speaking to me a certain way, I'm just very direct with it. I'm not disrespectful, but, you know, I'll say something like, I'm not sure what you meant, but it seemed a little aggressive. You know, I'm not really comfortable with your tone, you know, things like that. And sometimes it could just be that person projecting. Maybe they had a bad day and they didn't realize they were coming at you crazy. So having that direct conversation, for me, in my experience, has usually alleviated a lot of, you know, future issues. So I'm not just sitting there stewing and, you know, holding a grudge against this person. They have no idea. It's usually better to kind of tackle it head on and just nip it in the butt right away. Even with customers, yes, I understand that you are going through a tough time and I understand that you're probably projecting, but cussing me out or talking to me crazy and disrespecting me is not going to get this claim addressed any quicker. So let's have some professional courtesy for each other, because I'm not going to come at you crazy. And I also expect you not to come at me crazy. So even with talking to customers, if somebody's getting a little, like, it's one thing if somebody is, you know, upset, but when they're like being disrespectful or, you know, trying to challenge, like in a way that's like not professional, I nip it in the bud. Like, hey, I understand you're upset. I acknowledge their feelings, but this conversation is not conducive to a resolution. So let's go on ahead and either start over if you're able to do that, or let's talk at a later time when you're able to speak to me with respect and I can speak to you with respect. And a lot of times that snaps people right out of it, because at the end of the day, you need this cash, right? You need me to work on your claim. So I'm going to need you to, you know, even, I'm not saying you got to kiss my behind or anything, but let's show each other mutual respect. So let's start tackling disrespect and, you know, weird interactions. Let's start tackling it head on so you can create better relationships and better situations moving forward. The third thing I suggest we stop doing in 2024 and beyond is not speaking up. What I mean specifically is, if there is something that is hindering you from doing your job effectively, speak up. If there is something that makes you feel unsafe or something that you don't agree with, speak up. And when you speak up, make sure that you come with a solution. I think in some cases, people are afraid of speaking up because of the potential consequences. You don't want to piss anybody off. You don't want to be looked at as a problem and all of that. I've been in the workforce for, I don't even want to say, but let's just say it's been over 20 years, okay? And I definitely was one of those people that, like, I didn't want to rock the boat, so I would just kind of deal with stuff. And a lot of times my response to BS was me just simply leaving the company. I would find another job, I would, you know, do what I got to do, whatever, but I wouldn't always speak up. Get comfortable with talking to your higher ups and letting them know like what you need from them in order to be able to do your job effectively, but make sure that you're coming with solutions. Now, you can be looked at as a problem if you're coming at them disrespectfully, because respect goes both ways. So if you have a problem, you need to, you know, take the emotion out of it, speak to them. Here's the thing. There are certain situations that they cannot control, but they might have influence over. So it's important to understand that too. It might not be something that could be changed overnight, but open communication does help in a lot of cases. So what I mean is, like, when you're having meetings with your manager or your, you know, higher ups and stuff like that, and they're asking you what you need from them, like what support you need, make sure that you're articulating it in a way where they're like, okay, he or she is presenting this problem, but they also have a solution. Now, I've presented plenty of issues and they don't always get handled or addressed, but I can say that I feel like I have the respect of my higher ups because I'm not afraid of them feeling a way about me saying something about something that's not working. Like, think about it. When you have your review, they're going to tell you what you're doing that's not working. They're going to tell you, you know, what you need to do to improve. And so I feel like that communication should go both ways. Being employed by a company is not a dictatorship, right? It should be like an even exchange. Like, I'm doing this service for you in exchange for a paycheck. We both need to work together to make sure that the work gets done. I need to be happy, you need to be happy, our customers need to be happy, so we all need to work together. So if I'm telling you something that I need, and here's the thing, there are going to be times where it's not reasonable for them to, adhere to whatever it is you're asking for, but at least be comfortable enough to speak up, tell them about the pros and cons, all that good stuff, but make sure that you are saying something. Do not be quiet in situations where you for sure have a problem and it's hindering you from being the best employee that you can be. Speak up. All right, the fourth thing I want to talk about is stop not updating your resume. Okay. Now, I know that in a lot of cases, we get comfortable in the positions that we hold. Like there are times, like even me right now, I know I don't want to do this forever, but I'm comfortable right now. So I'm writing it out. I'm going to be here for at least a couple of years. So I'm chilling. But that does not mean that my resume is not updated, okay? Because whether it be an internal opportunity or an external opportunity, you got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready, okay? What did Sugar Free say? Yeah, you got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So make sure that you are always keeping your resume updated. So when an opportunity presents itself, you're able to, align yourself. So even when I got this job, I've been here for just a little under a year. But once I got this job and secured it, I went on ahead and put that on my resume, because if anything comes up, I want to be able to just go on ahead and say, hey, this is what I have. This is my background and all that stuff. I want it to be ready to go. In the past, I've had situations where, there's a job that I really want or that I really want to go after, but I have to spend, however long going through my resume and making sure that it sounds right, doing updates and removing obsolete jobs and stuff like that. And then thinking about the duties that I do at my current job. I feel like things flow a lot smoother when you just have that ready to go. It really is like a living, breathing document. And if you are in the workforce and if you're not someone that plans on staying with one company or in one position for the rest of your life, you need to make sure that that is updated at all times. So stop letting it sit there and collect dust. Most people have it on like a desktop or something like that. I have an updated resume and I make sure that, whenever I put updates, I update the year on there. So it's easy access. I'm not pulling the wrong resume or whatever. And as my role changes, my resume changes. So make sure that this is something that you are keeping at the forefront in your mind while you are working for corporate companies. Lastly, the main thing that I want to stop doing in 2024 and beyond, and I want y'all to stop doing too if you're doing it, is stop letting your job take over your life. Now, I've talked about this several times on my channel, how I will fall off on my workouts. I'll fall off on cooking. I'll fall off on, just enjoying my personal life because of work. It can be so easy to fall into a habitual state of doing all the overtime. Like you can fall into a habitual state of, doing this, doing that, and just, I won't take lunch, or, I work a couple hours here. And then when you get off, when you finally do log out, you've depleted yourself to a point where you can't do anything for yourself. The only thing that you're able to do is shower and go to sleep and pretty much rinse and repeat. You do it the next day. That is extremely unhealthy, extremely. And I feel like it could cause health issues. Like, it's no secret that, stress and burnout and stuff can be detrimental to your health overall, mental health and physical health. So if you're not staying on top of that, you're going to fall victim. So what I try to do is, even the days when I do overtime, I try to keep it to a minimum, because at the end of the day, with my job specifically, it doesn't matter how much overtime I do. It's going to always be something for me to do. So getting comfortable in knowing that, and just knowing that every day I do the best that I can, that allows me to log out at a decent time. I'm big on making a home cooked meal. I will order out. I'm not no saint, but I like to make a home cooked meal for my family. I can't do that if I'm logging out super late all the time, because I'm not going to feel like it. So I make sure that I try to, have a time in my mind, like, okay, I need to be logged out by this time so I can have dinner ready by this time, and blah, blah, blah. Same thing with working out. I'm not going to let my job get in the way of me working out. They say if you really want something, you'll make time for it. And that's what I try to keep in the forefront of my mind. I am trying to be the best version of myself, and I can't do that if I'm giving all I have to my job. It is a 9 to 5, and really it needs to stay in those hours. Also, for me, when I look at overtime, I pick specific days. So it's not going to be every day. But like if my husband's off, for example, I'll do overtime on that day because I know I don't have to rush out to go pick up my son. So that's a day where, okay, if you're going to do some extra hours, you can do it this day because you have some additional help at the house, you know, for example. So just make sure that you are incorporating the things that you want to do into your life along with your job. You should not let your job take over everything, because when you do that, again, you experience burnout, you experience depression and all that. And we don't need that going into the new year and beyond. We need to be the best versions of ourselves so we can be here for ourselves and our family. So yeah, keep working out, keep cooking your meals, and live your life. The job is only a piece of your life. All right, you guys, so that is all I have for you today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. This was like pretty impromptu. I'm actually on my lunch break, so I'm about to go eat me some food and then log back in. But I definitely wanted to put out a video just kind of talking about this because it's been on my mind for a little bit. And I know it's not just me that has these thoughts and that has fallen into these traps in the past. I know that a lot of you guys that watch my channel are working in some capacity, whether it be in insurance or some other type of 9-to-5 that is consuming your life. And I just want to make sure that we create good habits. Even if you're still struggling with some of these, let's try to make a pact to each other to work on these, you know, throughout this new year and beyond, so we can be the best people that we can be. Like at the end of the day, I want us all to grow. I want us to flourish. And, you know, I want us to grow old and happy, not old and miserable. Okay. So with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, definitely go ahead and give me a thumbs up. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you made it this far and you haven't subscribed, please go on ahead and click that subscribe button below. Turn on your notifications so you don't miss anything from me. And with that being said, you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.
You mad, they don't salute you. I need a bag, size is super. They turned your back, it's like I never knew you.